Hello, everybody. Welcome to our wonderful live community of everybody out there that is watching us on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Today's a very special. I feel like those. I don't know. Did you ever have those after school specials when you were little, Justin?
Yes.
Today's a very special episode.
Yeah. Stop saying that every time I come on. It's another episode.
It's another episode of OSINT. Now, this one's interesting for me because we have our very special guest, Justin Seitz. You might know him from Hunchly or just from the amazing things that he does in the world. He's going to be on here with us. Justin, welcome to the show.
How are you now?
Doing well. And of course, we have our Sector 035. Hey, Sector, how you doing today?
Yo, I'm doing extra fine. Hey, this is like a fan moment for me. Hi, Justin.
Hey, Sector, how are you?
You know that Justin loves all that accolades and adulation stuff and that.
Yeah, can we do this longer, please?
And we've lost Justin.
Exactly. I'm out.
Exactly, just out. Thank you. And I'm Michael Hoffman, of course. I'm the president of OSINT Curious, and each day this week we've come on here live, and we are about sharing OSINT techniques, OSINT tips, and really just having some fun in the open source intelligence area of exploration. Each day we come on, we play a little bit of Geoguessr to warm up, and then we talk about something. Yesterday was about bookmarklets, and actually the day before we had one of our listeners, Griffin Glynn, on here as well, and he was showing us how to do bookmarks. I'm going to finish up a little bit of that right before we get into Geoguessr, and then we have a while to talk with Justin Seitz here, who is the creator of Hunchly, and we'll be able to ask him your questions as well. So if you are out there on Twitch, on Twitter, on YouTube, please, now's the time to say hi. I see we've got Diego, Adi, Purple, all some of our regulars there. And I bet everybody else is typing right now as well. So welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to the show. All right, so the first part of our show is going to show how great Justin Seitz's skills are on geolocation. He groans. No. We're in this together, buddy. We're in this together.
Good.
Yep.
Good.
And when Griffin was on Tuesday, he didn't say a darn word the entire Geoguessr segment. So feel free to take cue from him. For those of you that don't know, we're going to play the Geoguessr Daily Challenge, and the rules are quite simple. First off, we're going to be placed in a certain part of the world in Google Street View imagery. We have to figure out where in the world we are. Now we have 5 rounds. 3 minutes per round, so there's a little bit of a time crunch, and we need your help. We've got Sector here, we've got Justin here, so if there's any places in Canada, I know that Justin's going to be able to help us out. Yesterday we had 2 places in Sweden, and we really missed you, Sector, because I know that you're big on the Scandinavian location. The 3 rules are: 1, if you've already played the daily challenge for today in Geoguessr, please do not help us until we've picked our place. 2, no Googling, Binging, DuckDuckGoing, or Yandexing anything you see here. We only want to use our brains. And 3, if you know where we are, please tell us in the chat not only where we are, but why you know that. Cool. We got Griffin. Hey, Griffin's on here. Tig Diaz. Oh, it's been a while. Lollybagger. Got some great people on here. All right, let's get into this. But before we get into Geoguessr,
here we go.
No. We have something, and then you can groan. Okay, so save that.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Okay, yeah.
I'm groaning way too early.
You are. It's an early groan, Justin.
Okay, I'm gonna drink coffee. I'll stay quiet over here.
Nice.
I can already tell you, at the moment we are being dropped in the middle of a dry desert, like in the high mountains of Peru or something, then you can groan.
Yeah. You'll see it. For those of you that don't know, we have our YouTube channel. Many of you are probably on it right now watching this live stream, but in the video section, we have our past live streams, and yesterday's Geoguessr Plus making bookmarks is right there. And one of the neat things that I find is that just to wrap things up, I made the bookmarks with you all yesterday. I told you I'd share them. I shared them over in our Discord, and then One of the other things I did was I sent them into the Bosun Blank OSINT bookmark, so they are there. The Twitter bookmark I made yesterday is right here. This from to, so just kind of contributing back to existing projects instead of just making my own. Something that I really love doing here in the OSINT world. All right, now cue Justin Seitz is grown. There we go. Nice. I want somebody. I bet Josh is on here. Josh.
Yeah, Nico's going to sample that.
Yeah, sure. That's right.
Yeah,
you'll hear
that's
this.
Going to happen. Yeah, I don't know if we want to get. Maybe don't sample that, Nico.
Yeah, that's going to be bad for everybody. Oh. All right. So our daily challenge this past week has done really well. We started out with 13,000. We went to 20,000, and yesterday we got 21,000. Today, hoping to get a whole bunch of points. Let's get into it. All right, here we go. Justin, if you know where we are, just tell us. We are okay. So we're on a dirt road. Oh, this is what Sector was talking about. Let's go down the hill here. Looking off in the distance, I see some mountains there. Ooh, and water. Mountains and water. All right.
My feel is like South America.
Really?
But where?
I was going to say like some part of the UK or something like that.
You mean Scotland because of all the little walls?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Scotland was my first
and we
thing.
see
let's look at the sign.
We see a 30-kilometer-per-hour sign there, so we know we're definitely not in the US.
Yeah, and it's on the right side, so I would suspect that we are driving on the right side of the road.
Yep, which means we're not in New Zealand.
And UK.
Or the UK, that's right.
That's right.
All right, we've got some cliffs coming up. Let's see, a lot of walls like that in the UK, Technu says. But Technu, we saw the sign on the right-hand side of the road, which would probably indicate that we are on the left. You know what? This almost looks Scandinavia-like.
Yeah, and it looks it actually looks too dry for something around Europe.
Oh wait, here's some sign. All right, we've got Camp Glavatok.
Glavatok.
Oh.
Written in English only.
Yeah, written with a K there. And what does that say? I don't know.
I think it says Glavatok.
Well, we have the European style roofs. We have a minute left. So, Diego says Iceland. Why Iceland, buddy?
No. He hasn't seen.
Croatia.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a delay.
If you look up and to the left, were those vineyards?
Let's see. So we've got a nice house there. Let's go back here. Yeah, I would say
vineyards. So it's got to be grape growing country, right?
Yep. But it's with a K. So Slovenia, Croatia.
What about Mediterranean?
Okay. You think this could, let's get all the way down here.
Oh, what does it say on the left?
On the left, we have
does it say something?
Nope. I see nothing. On. And I don't see an EU license plate there.
No, so it could be Croatia indeed, or Slovenia.
Right. We have 36 seconds. This looks too small for the Mediterranean, right? I mean, we can see the other side.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I don't think that there's any like bays that would be.
So
it would be somewhere around. Yeah. Something with.
Oh, Croatia.
Water.
Yeah, we could do Croatia like over here or something like that.
Yeah.
So maybe like there.
Yeah, because maybe you can see, depending, I guess, what the geography is there, but it looks pretty wooded and mountains.
Yeah,
there's some ranges.
I got to vote. Sorry. We have 4 seconds left.
That's really close.
Hey, not bad.
Look at that. We got 40 kilometers away. So who said Croatia over there?
Ashish. Of course. It's Ashish again.
Well done, Ashish.
Nice work.
Thanks for that tip. So one of the things that we like doing is getting better at this. So let's head on over to GeoTips, hit Europe, and we're going to look at Croatia. Just try to learn a little bit about it. Let's see. There's Croatia. We did not see any flags. I didn't really look up, but we didn't see any of the flags. Let's see. We didn't see a fire hydrants. Wow, look at that thing. And we didn't see any license plate with that. Oh, yeah, we didn't see any license.
Yeah, but we couldn't see the little the emblem. Right. It was too blurred.
And bollards.
Yeah.
This is the thing, Justin. I don't know if you ever played this and people were like, "Oh, that's a bollard from Croatia." And you're like, "What?"
No. This is actually a very generic one.
I know people who are like that, and it's amazing to me because I'm terrible at this stuff.
Yeah. All right, cool. Let's go down to the language.
There's the 30 sign.
Yep.
Right.
But that's pretty common across Europe, I think, too.
Is it that style?
Yeah,
that style with the kilometers in there.
I do notice that this is a very thin and more longer font, actually. Because when you look at the Netherlands, Belgium, and Germany, it's a more bold font.
Oh, okay. Let's head to the very bottom here. This is the alphabet. This is Croatian, and we didn't really see anything here that had the lines through the different letters or above it or anything like that. So, all right, cool. Well done, people.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's out of a possible 5,000 points. So this is awesome, and the fact that we were in this right country, I always feel good about that. All right, let's head on to round number 2. Ooh, I love it. What's that?
That looks familiar.
Yeah. So the question is, where are we? This looks like a big square. That's right, Russia. But which city has this big square with? Oh, I can't get over there, but let's see. Yep. You think it's St. Petersburg? Why do you think it's St. Petersburg, M. Cantal? Let's see.
That's what I was thinking too, but I can't.
Oh, everybody's saying St. Petersburg. Hang on. What does this say? Ta-ta. I think it's the Winter Palace. All right, let's just head on over to Russia and just see if we can identify this. So, let's see. Moscow.
Makanto also says it's the Winter Palace.
Yep. All right, so we're here in St. Petersburg. Now, help me out with where the Winter Palace is in St. Petersburg. Let's see. This is the part I hate, Justin, is that we can't just turn on like satellite view like we normally would.
I know.
Yeah. All right, looks like the Hermitage Museum. So let's zoom in a little bit more into like the city proper. We would expect this is a summer garden.
Yep. Oh, just under the water on the left of the
left. Over here?
No. Up. Slightly to the right of your mouse. Slightly to the right of your mouse.
Lower, right here. The Hermitage Museum. Okay, like this area right there.
That is. Oh yes. Do you see the arc on the other side of the square? And the Alexander column, that's where it is. So now you have to look
to the left.
So go a little bit more towards because you're on the straight street. You're now on the street. So slightly
we're out here.
Yes, there. Palace Square. It's on that road. There it is. Yes,
but it's actually. Wouldn't it be over here because we?
Oh, I thought we were.
We're like outside of it, right? Because here's the arch, and then here is something else. So
can you zoom in a bit? Where you just put your pointer? Because that's the Alexander column, isn't it?
So this is the.
I think so. Yeah,
that's the column.
Right. Yeah, I think we're right.
Then we're over here.
No. We're on the other side of the column. Back where we were. There it is.
And we're right there. This way.
Yeah.
Aha.
Yes.
We're right here.
Right there. Yes.
Right on the street.
That is where we should
9 meters.
9 meters.
That is where we were.
Well done. Yeah, that is
impressive.
terrific.
Damn.
Holy cow. All right, so let's recap how we knew it was St. Petersburg. First, we looked around. We saw a flag. That flag, Justin, what country was it for?
Russia.
Yep. Once we had that, we looked around and our chat started going wild with the Hermitage Museum, St. Petersburg. And this is something that we've seen many, many times, that having that prior knowledge of a location or that experience comes into play, just like it would in a normal OSINT investigation. So well done, people. This is
amazing.
Our second best, second closest location. We had one that was 4 meters, and that was inside of Versailles. It was amazing because there in Versailles, it was like, this is this portrait gallery, and we were like, here we are. It was cool.
4 meters.
I know. It's pretty cool, right? Well done, everybody.
That's
very,
awesome.
Very nice. All right. Now, in reward for this, they're going to put us in the desert in Botswana or something.
Right.
Oh, no. I bet this is Israel or Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, Saudi Arabia.
Let's see if we see some signs.
Yes, on the right.
Yep,
There
let's
is
head
a
over
sign.
here. This
Nope.
sign looks like it has Arabic. It says private
Yes.
road. All right, so not Israel. Hang on, I can't scroll out for some reason. There we go. All right, not Israel. Definitely desert climate.
Okay. So what do we have?
Al-Khor. And what does that say? Sheikh Ahmed bin Rashid Al Mualla Road. This is Al-Khor.
Cool.
And this is definitely Arabic. So the question is, where is this? Yeah, it could be UAE. Let's see if some of these other signs.
Absolutely.
Abu, I don't know. It might be Abu Dhabi. Yeah, it could be. Let's see. That might have something over there. Let's see if we can hop over to that side. Oh, and we can. This is Golden Gate Marble, Golden Gate Stone. So this is in English and in Arabic. And 055050. Green license plate.
Yeah, but is that only for the taxis or for every car?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the question.
And these signs have Arabic on them as well. So, yeah, let's head back over this way maybe and go off to the right. There's another thing. Al-Hazem Al-Akndar? Qatar? Maybe Qatar. There's something over there too. Let's just see if there's...
So now we have to pick. Is it UAE? Is it Abu Dhabi? Qatar? Oh, gosh.
Well, there's something
like it's small.
Yeah. Adi says Qatar. All right, so so let's go to Qatar and just see if we can find something here. All right. Al-Khor is right there. Now, did we see Al-Khor?
See any water or anything?
Yes, we saw Al-Khor on the sign.
On the sign.
So we need to find a roundabout in between.
There's Al-Khor. Okay.
Okay, so if we head that way.
Yeah, and there's that, and see if we see that road. This is Al-Khor Coastal. This is it says Sheikh something road, right?
Then there's interchanges, right? If you look at where those roads are meeting, there's interchanges, and we're kind of right in the middle of one.
Okay, and there's a circle almost. I mean, there is a circle, right? We're in a circle, so we have 21 seconds. And let's see if we can.
What else did we see?
I don't know. We've got 13 seconds, guys. I'm just going to go here and see what happens. All right.
Okay. Let's do it.
Oh, my.
Holy.
That was a
Where was it? It was in Dubai.
Right area of the world. And is there an Al-Khor somewhere else? Oh, let's see. Yeah, that's a little circle right there.
No traffic.
And that is the Sheikh
Straight
road.
north. Straight north is Al-Khor.
There's Al-Khor right there. And
it had a U. It had a U, Al-Khor. Yeah.
Well, this one doesn't have a U. This
no, but the one below it does.
Yeah, this is Al-Khor too.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at this in GeoTips. Let's see. It's probably Africa?
Yeah, it's Asia.
Asia, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Alexander. I thought it was Jordan at first too. When I saw it, it just dropped in. My first impression was that it was Jordan too. Initially.
It's the blue one on the bottom right.
Yeah. One of the things that can help us, at least with this game, is there are certain countries that there's no street view in, or the street view is just trekker and not on the road. That's the purple here. So let's go to UAE. We didn't see the flag. I didn't really see the car either. The streets, roads. All right. So here, black and yellow. I didn't remember seeing this on the curb. Did you all see that on the curbs?
I'm not sure, but I do know that they have them in Egypt too, because I've used them before for geolocation.
So the UAE uses signs with English and in Arabic as well. Is that the same with Qatar and other places, or is it just in Arabic? Ooh, and that's a good question, Tigdias. Is Qatar only trekker? Let's see. Qatar does look like only trekker. Good call, Tigdias. Nice one. All right, well, that will help in the future. Yep. All right, so Alexander says, yes, they were there. All right, so Qatar is trekker only, which means that we won't be on the roads. We'll be on foot places. All right. And there's license plates. And there's
there's that green.
And that's a commercial plate.
Yep, like you were saying, sector.
Yeah, good call, sector.
Yeah. Oh, and here's the. Yeah, we've been there. All right. Cool. Cool. All right. Hey, that's not too bad.
Tricky
3,700.
one.
Take it. All right. Round number 4, everybody. Here we go.
Here we go.
All right. So we are in a tropical area. We're driving on the right-hand side of the road. This says Free Spirits Collection. And then there is some other collection. Oh, so let's just do a
Nosotros?
360.
Did it say nosotros on the bottom of the bus?
There we go.
We have
It's heavy.
taxis. Let's just
South
see. There's a
American?
flag over there. Is that a flag? Nope. It says something tax or something. We'll take that. Look at that. This looks like an airport almost, doesn't it? Or La Ficheria. Ia Estamos Carson.
Is that Portuguese or Spanish?
I think it's Spanish.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not sure. Reebok. That's English. All right. What do you think? Let's go towards the shops, maybe. So we can
Yes.
hop to the other side of the street. And let's look
Ooh.
here. All right. Mexico.
Yes.
Travel. Mexico.
Yes.
All right,
Least
but
that-
where?
Now where, right? Let's just do some confirmation here to see if we are in Mexico. Seeing a lot of .coms. All right. So yeah, we do have Spanish here.
Cool.
And let's see, what does that say? That looks like a bus.
Yeah.
Transport. Cancun.
Cancun. All right.
Nice.
All right. Well, let's see if we can get some more
Where in
confirmation. But
Cancun?
that's good. Cancun's in Mexico, right?
Yep.
There's also a lot of buses that from all over the place to
Yeah.
Cancun.
Yep. All right. And this says, what does that say? Transport to personnel, private security system. Yeah, just .com. All right. Let's head down the road here a little bit. We have better camera.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay. Not seeing anything good. I'm willing to go down and just put this in Cancun. Let's see if we can get like closer to the water or something like that. It is Mexico. All right. I'm not finding. All right. We got 50 seconds, and you know how
We got a
long
break to the right there a bit.
Yeah, a
Can you
little
see
bit.
anything down there? No.
Nope. All right. Let's head to Cancun. All right. Help me out. Cancun is on the bay side or the.
I've got no clue. I'm
I know.
skipping like hell now.
It takes me so long to find this. All right, help me out, audience. Cancun is on the
Yeah.
west side or east side? Oh,
Yeah. YouTube is
Atlantic
lagging
side.
10 seconds, so
Yeah.
we'll get an answer in a second. Okay,
East.
west.
East side. East side.
West,
Yeah.
east and west. Oh, we got 2 east and 1 west.
Yeah, but where? East. All right, we've got 4
South.
seconds. Crap.
Southeast, far east, all the way far east. Okay.
Oh,
We were saying.
yeah, it was on the Yucatan. This happens all the time, Justin. It's like, I just have to find it
I know. I
on
was
the map.
like, I don't want to start yelling over top of the chat and sector, so I'm like, I'm gonna let him do this.
No worries. Yeah, there it is, right there. Big words. Nice. All right.
I
so you
mean,
figured that out from the stuff that was
we
on the
had that.
vehicles. All right. Well, but also the good thing is that I know that if I just click on something and run out of time,
Yeah.
it'll go ahead and take that as my answer. So that's good. That's good. All right. Not too bad. Let's go ahead and wait. And
I love all
somebody
the
said-
people yelling at us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people are like, you get that, you get that.
Raquel's yelling at me. Come on, Justin.
And when people it's funny when people are like, it's west. I'm like, wait, is it west of you or west on Mexico?
Yeah, no, it's east.
Yeah, it's definitely on the east part. All right. As always, confuses east and west. All right, here we go. Last round. Help us out, everybody. Here
we
we go.
got this. We got this.
Oh, great. Now you can
Mountain
grow,
and
Justin.
Driving on the left. Driving on the left.
Driving on the left.
That means something right there. We've got some rolling
This-
hills. I'm thinking New Zealand. We've
This is
got the
looking-
little snout here that says we've gone underwater. You know, this is the air.
We've gone underwater. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, if we're going underwater. So I'm thinking like New Zealand, or it could be like South Africa.
Yes.
Wait, let's see these people. Yep,
Mhm.
thinking South
South
Africa or
Africa.
Botswana. Look at the dress on these people and their dark
Absolutely.
skin, right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking
So,
Africa. What do you think?
I'm not sure.
See, we saw there was a person over there. Let's see if this car is going to catch up to us. Ooh, there's something laying in the road. Let's
let's
Oh,
let's
that's,
geolocate
I know this is bad, but let's see if it's a kangaroo or not, right? I mean,
I
we
can't
should.
tell. Yeah, they might not give you any. No,
It looks like
as bad as that looks,
it's got long
for
legs.
everybody.
Yeah, Lord Marquez says Kenya.
From the Google car.
Okay.
I'm willing to go with him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Yellow plate. That's a yellow plate, but that's a long, wide white one.
Front and back different though.
Yeah, but one's short and one's long. I haven't seen places where it's like that. It's been it's fairly consistent. But yeah, it could be Kenya. Is Kenya
Uganda?
I don't know. I don't know what's on the left side and what's on the right in Africa. I know South America.
Griffin.
Let's see, what does this
Griffin
say?
called it roadkill. Guesser.
Something Sacco. All right, we've got 1 minute left. Wait, look at the stripes on it. Is this like Kenyan? I think that is.
That's a really good call.
I think that is Kenya. God, I wish it was Jamaica.
Jamaica?
I'm not so sure about that. Let's see. Although it could be.
Is Jamaica that mountainous?
Does it drive on the left in Jamaica too?
Maybe. All right, let's just see what this truck says, if it says anything. Sorry if I make anybody sick here. All right, we've got 24 seconds. Isuzu. I'm not seeing anything. I'm thinking Kenya, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's give it a try.
I've got no clue where though. But...
Wow.
Damn, not bad.
Who said Kenya up there? I want to see that. Let's see, far west. Let's see. Adi said, I'm thinking Kenya on the edge of the rift.
And Lord Marcus said Kenya from the Google car.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. And Lord Marquez, Marcus. Lord Marcus.
Impressive.
That is really good. And then one of the things I saw was the stripe on that car, which was like Kenyan colors. Well done.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go ahead and skip the geo tips since we did so well. And let's see what our score is. 20,440 points.
Nice.
That puts us in a pretty good location there. Well done, everybody.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. Thank you for your help, everybody, on that.
That was fun.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Pretty good stuff. And thanks to all of our regulars and to Justin and Sector for doing that. If you're just joining us, we are the OSINT Curious Project, and we are here to talk with Justin Seitz about him, about Hunchly, and about some of the other things in the OSINT world. I know. This is the fun part, Justin.
Exactly. You never know where we're going to go with these things.
Now it's all Justin all the time. Cool.
Here we go.
So for those of you that don't know Justin, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? And I know you're going to be really humble, so Sector and I are going to give all of the color for all the other amazing things you do. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Justin.
Yeah, sure. So I'm originally from Saskatchewan, Canada, and I spent a number of years in offensive security, kind of in the exploit writing field, transitioned into OSINT and spent a lot more time, kind of writing Python and tools, and started a company in 2015 with my wife, Claire, that started the automating OSINT training, and in 2016 launched Hunchly. And here we are today, 5 years later, still basically doing the same stuff, just more people.
I love how you fast forward over all the
it's just like,
and then we're done. So wait, tell me this. So you were somebody that went from cyber to OSINT. Can you tell me about that transition? Was it something that you're like, this is more fun, or I'm better here, or just this is more interesting, or why did you move from that? Why did you do that?
I think it was a combination of things. I think at the time, I was just more interested in terrorism research. So I was doing a lot of stuff that I found interesting and was presenting on kind of how ISIS was moving through the Middle East, how they're using social media, trying to come up with different ways of kind of tracking and organizing that information. And I just found that was more interesting to me than I wouldn't say exploit writing, but I would say I found that part more interesting than the consulting that I ended up spending the bulk of my time doing. It was just time for a change. I also have a major entrepreneurial spirit, right? So was very fortunate to have worked for two great companies in a row, and I was like, I don't know where I even go from here, so I should probably just start something myself and see how badly I do at that. So it's been great, yeah.
That's terrific. Now, if you are somebody that has ever done anything in the world of offensive security, you'll know about Justin's Python books. They were something that I was thrilled when I was in cyber. I was like, wow, this is Python with cyber and exploit. It was really good. And then I also took your Automating OSINT, which is about Python and open source intelligence. And I thought, this guy's speaking my language. Why did you start to teach? For you had these skills. What drew you to like sharing that and teaching that and writing the books and making the course?
Yeah, well, I think with the books it was interesting. So the first book, I didn't know shit about Python, really, truly, but I was like, I'm gonna write a book, but I knew enough to be dangerous. The second book, quite honestly, to be perfectly honest, the second book really arose more out of my family needed money, and it was a way for me to generate money for my family. I was like, I'll just write another book. That'll help. So I wrote Black Hat Python. I wanted to share the knowledge, but we were also struggling as a family at the time. So that's just kind of how I am. Do whatever needs to be done, including writing a book. Yeah. But it was great. The second book was much easier to write. I had a great team with Dan Frisch and Cliff Jansen and others that really helped to make it a lot better, a lot easier. I learned a lot from it. I enjoy teaching people. The Automating OSINT course really came from the fact that there was a lot of material on how to like write Python to do software development or solve some engineering problem. But all the people I talked to were just like, I just want to learn how to download tweets or like write web scrapers or whatever. And I often found I was doing just a lot of like sending people scripts or helping them troubleshoot things. And I was like, I should just write a course and teach people this stuff. So that's really where it came from. I enjoy teaching. I enjoy talking to people. And we have more of that coming with the Hunchly Institute coming up as well.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And for those of you that don't know, and to be brutally honest, Justin and Hunchly are sponsors of the OSINT Curious project, and this is one of the long-standing relationships. When we stood up the OSINT Curious project years ago, Justin was one of those key players that at the time was like, "Hey, y'all are doing something really neat." Great for the environment. Low carbon footprint on that.
Yeah.
Great stuff for the community. And he was very forthcoming with some of that seed money that allowed us to get the Zoom and allow us to really, share our message. So from the OSINT Curious project standpoint, I wanted to say thank you, Justin, for being that one of the first supporters and also being a long-standing supporter with us, whether it's Hunchly licenses or whether it's the money. You and your company are always there, and thank you.
You're very welcome. We're always happy to give back to the community, and the work we all do sometimes isn't a ton of fun, and it's nice to know that there's people supporting each other, and there's people who are, and particularly I like your team because you're diverse, you're inclusive, you work very hard on making it a safe space for people and letting people kind of just use the mic to share whatever they need to. So I'll always back that for sure.
Cool. If you have a question for Justin, go ahead and toss it into the Twitter, the Twitch, or the YouTube comments. And we'll try to bring it onto the show here. Perfect. Justin, so going back to your progression from cyber into tracking the terrorists and looking to that to creating the course, at what point did you decide, you know what, I need a better way to take notes or record what I'm seeing in my browser? Because I know as a cyber person, I for years was like, this just note-taking thing is terrible. There has to be a better way. But you created a new way instead of just asking for some vendor to do stuff. Why did you come up with Hunchly?
It actually stemmed from that, some of that terrorism research. So I was looking at people, not particularly people that were like fighting in Syria and Iraq. I was also looking at people who were still in North America and were starting to show indicators that they might want to like fly, right, head to Turkey kind of thing. And so what happened was I was, kind of, there was a lot going on at the time, and I kind of was like, combing around and looking at people that I found were interesting. And the one night, I crawled into bed and I flipped my phone open to read the news, and here was this picture of two individuals that I had been looking at, and I kind of had this oh shit moment. I'm like, holy, I know who these people are. There was this story that they were now in the war zone, fighting. And so I went to my laptop and because I knew where their social media was, and I immediately headed there, and it was all gone. Right. And then I'm like, okay, but I must have grabbed some screenshots. I had not. I had taken no notes. I had just had their social media accounts. And it was just one of those days where they were among a number of other accounts that I had come across that didn't look great. So I just, in that moment, was like, I am never going to shoot myself in the foot like this again. So that's kind of where Hunchly came from. I just built a little prototype to save me. And then as I was doing casework and was doing research work, other people I was working with were like, hey, what is that thing you're using? And I'm like, oh, it's, this, it doesn't have a name, whatever. So I was like literally installing Chrome extension code and Python to people's machines to get it to work initially. But then I thought, well, I bought an $11 HTML template. That was the original Hunchly dashboard. And just I bought the logo.
I was going to say that's logo. Where the logo came from, right? It's just you bought the logo. And you're like,
I just bought the logo. I went on 99 Designs. I'm like, hey, that's cool. It's a little detective. Boom, and now everybody's like, that's everybody knows that logo. I'm like, really? Because I just paid whatever it was. I think I had to pay $500 to get the permanent rights to it or something. But somebody had already drawn it, and so between a logo and an HTML template, that became Hunchly. And that was it.
How did you get the name Hunchly?
My whole thing was that my whole kind of mindset was always capturing what people were thinking when they had hunches, right? So when they were working off of intuition, and that's really where the product also came from, which was stay out of the investigator's way so that they can operate more on intuition. They're not spending all their time screwing around with their tools. So it was there was some hunch variations, but if you ask my team, they'll tell you this, I really don't care about names or anything, visual or whatever. It's I'm the total utility person. So I was like, whatever, we're calling it Hunchly. That was it, get the domain, and away I went.
Just which I think decision, let's focus on the things that really matter. Right?
Yeah, that's how I've always been, right? Don't worry about this stuff, right? The name can be changed, colors can be changed, and we are working slowly. You'll actually see it first in the mobile app where you're changing some of the branding and some of the color schemes and that type of thing. And it is not a super gender inclusive logo currently. So we are going to be altering that as well. So we have a plan to slowly move our way away from that type of thing and make sure we're being as inclusive as possible throughout the product as well.
Nice.
Yeah, I've got a question for you. And since you're not really into names and anything, so tell me, Bob, you came up with the mobile app some time ago. What made you decide to create a mobile app? And was it specifically for people in difficult situations so they could capture social media and stuff like that? What was the reason behind it?
It was a two-part thing. So I think the first reason was for whatever reason, in 2020 and into 2021, there was a lot of victims that came forward to me for whatever reason. And I was tired. My daughter was going through cancer treatment at the time, which I didn't tell anybody, of course, publicly until it was over. And I was like, oh my God, I have no energy. I'm in a really tough spot to try to help people. And a lot of the time I found when victims were interacting with law enforcement, it was this mess of emails and attachments, and it was difficult for the victim to do. It was difficult for law enforcement to parse through later. And so it was a combination of that, and also recognizing there's this huge need for mobile, like some way for us to utilize mobile apps, knowing that we can't do preservation on a mobile phone in the same way, right? So between all of those things, we just kind of, Phil and I sat down and I said, I want to build this. I want to build this quickly, and I want to get it into people's hands. And this is a problem we can solve, and we're not going to make any money on it. That's not the point. And the whole thing was just to make it easier for primarily victims and witnesses to get good organized information into the hands of their attorneys and to their investigating officers. The secondary goal was to make it better for our customers. So yeah, I mean, that was really where it came from. We really, to be perfectly honest, we, like, from the feedback we've got so far, like, people are really, it's helped a lot. There are victims who have already, who have mailed us and said, this has made my life so much easier, and it helps me avoid a forensic acquisition on my phone too. So yeah, I mean, that's really where it came from, and it will remain free always.
Yeah, awesome. Really cool.
Yeah,
people can head to your hunch.ly website for that, right? For the
you bet.
Okay.
Yeah, they can go there. Yeah, and we have an iOS, Android link, so right at the top of the page.
One of the things I think I shared with you offline before the show was how when I came into the world of presentation and the world of talking and speaking and doing all of the things publicly, I always felt like things had to be perfect. You know, I had to prepare my slides, and part of this is my imposter syndrome, which I've talked about previously, but I always had to make sure that every single thing was perfect and flowed and all. And then I saw you present, and you're like, on one, I don't mean that in that way.
I don't know if that's a compliment, or you're like, I thought I was bad before, but then I saw you present, and I was like, I am nowhere near as bad as that guy.
I'm sorry. And then, no, but I'm sorry, man.
Yeah.
No, but one of the things that I learned from you, just at a presentation level, at a communication level, was it's okay not to be an expert about every single thing. It's okay to show that we make errors, we make mistakes, and things happen. And I love when you get on those, are they weekly Hunchly kind of live streams that you do? Or
yeah,
I love when you get on those and you just say, hey, let's go ahead and look up this Justin Seitz guy and see what happens. And you never know what's going to happen. You're okay with it. And you just roll with it. Is that just something that you've developed over the years, that you're just like, you know, we're all adults, we can roll with it? Or was there a cognitive choice there?
Oh, I think there's a few things, right? So, like, I used to be terrified of demos, and I've actually, again, since I'm a big proponent of mental health, like, I've been treated for anxiety and depression before, and have recently, and I used to really struggle with demos. It used to give me a ton of anxiety. I used to, and our demos, when we used to have to do them at Immunity, were complex. We had multiple virtual machines, exploits had to work in order to do, like, traversal stuff. You know, there was a lot of moving parts. And I always wanted to make sure that I was doing my best for the company. So at some level, I just decided I would practice and sign up for as many presentations and as many public speaking events as possible. And I just ground it out. I just got over the anxiety. I learned through therapy how to cope with anxiety better overall in life. But also, when you run your own company and you're someone like me who's very vocal about a number of causes, who has a diverse team that stands beside him and says, yeah, we are vocal people, we have opinions, and we are real people. We are not, you know, automatons for some corporate drone. So my approach to demos and presentations, demos for sure, because investigations are free flowing. So I always find it funny when it's like, let's sit down for an hour and do this exact procedure, like, you know? And so even though my demos are unscripted, we do follow kind of the general path, but I mean, they go off on tangents often, you know, halfway through. We can dive off for 15 minutes and not even cover Hunchly stuff. But it's also more about me just talking to people. I'm not trying to sell people anything on the Hunchly demos, really. Like I'm not, you don't hear me ever talk about price or, because first and foremost, we're members of this community. I hate pushy salespeople. But I also have no boss to answer to, right? And if my customers don't like my viewpoints on equality, or they don't like my viewpoints on sexual violence, or how I feel certain things should be done by police, they're welcome to take their money to somewhere else. And we've always been like that. Integrity first, but it absolves you of a lot of anxiety. So it's a little different for me because I'm like, who's going to fire me, right? Yeah. And if my customers fire me, it's, I would hope, because we did a bad job on the product, and it's something that we need to do better. So,
yeah, and if they don't want you because of their point of view, that is probably wrong. Then, well, you don't need them as customer, I think.
Yeah, and I'm wrong all the time too, and I have no problem being corrected for it. But I think being wrong on facts is definitely deemed a lot different than taking the wrong side of moral arguments. And I think all of us, just as human beings, have to take the right sides of those moral arguments, regardless if it makes you feel uncomfortable or not.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. I've gotten I've gotten several direct messages and stuff on Twitter. My direct messages are open, and people have actually said to me, is that a cat? Okay. All right.
That doesn't sound like a cat.
It does sound like a cat.
It sounds like a little Ewok with a cold.
I got cat hair in my beard now.
Aw. Yeah, you get that little scratchy beard thing, and it acts like a comb.
I just brushed the cat
on a live stream, and you've got it now in your mouth.
I know, it's like floating around in the air now.
Yeah.
So,
nice job, buddy.
So we actually now have Micah's cat on Twitter. Okay, who's gonna create Justin's cat or Hunchly cat?
Yeah, Hunchly cat.
The Hunchly cat.
We love cats around here.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I was just gonna say about the different points of view. You know, I've had people reach out to me on DM saying, listen, you know, I come to your Twitter feed for the OSINT and you're pushing me away with your views on this or that. And my response is, hey, you know, that's what the unfollow, that's what the block thing or the mute buttons on Twitter are about. Yeah, it's important for us to speak out when there is wrong and to support those people that are helping to change the world.
Yeah, I mean, I would generally, my response to people like that is you can imagine which finger's sticking up right now.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry I've upset you.
Yeah. Moving on to Hunchly. So Justin, tell me this. So actually, let's just take a step back. On the hunch.ly website, you have some resources there that have been extremely helpful that are not directly related to the paid tool that you have. You have the dark web scanner that you've been running for years, right?
Mm-hmm. It's currently down, and it's been down for like a week, and I'm trying to fix it.
So about
thanks for bringing that up.
That I told you not to talk about.
Yikes. No, it's fine. We'll get it fixed. You can still use the archives in Dropbox. All the reports are there, but the mail out is struggling right now.
Okay. All right. So the data is being collected and stored in the Dropbox, but it's not being pushed out to other people?
The email is not going out because of this esoteric little bug that I can't seem to fix reliably.
Are you still using AOL up there, or are you on a more recent internet?
Hold on. No.
Yeah.
Oh, you're back.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
No, our internet's fine in Saskatchewan. I don't know what you're talking about.
Cool. So for those of you that don't know, Justin's company runs a dark web spider in Tor. And you want to tell us a little bit about what it does and what the report is?
Yeah, sure. So it's a pretty simple thing. It's just this distributed kind of system where we keep this database of all the hidden services in Tor that we've ever encountered. And every day we just basically use this distributed system to reach out and check each one of them. We pull down the content from the page that we can reach, and then we just determine which ones are up, which ones are down, and which are new onions we just discovered in that last 24-hour period. So there's some kind of intelligence in there to scrape out new references to onions, but we're not actually crawling we're not crawling even one page deep. We're just hitting the index page and snapshotting it so people can kind of get an idea of what's going on. And then, just emails out a link to a spreadsheet in Dropbox every day. So we have thousands of people who get the email every day. It is run on this built by a friend of mine who I don't know if I can even say publicly, but hey, Steve, him and I built it as like a side project one summer, and we couldn't actually take the project further, so I turned it into that. So yeah, it's cool. I read it every morning still, just to see like what pops up. Yeah, sometimes there's interesting stuff there. Yeah, and same thing, it'll always be free. So
okay, and again, it's just another one of those community resources that many people in cyber, in OSINT, in several other fields have come to rely on. Let's take a look at what's out there. And what I like about it is that it's safe to view because you're not taking screenshots and including those images that might not be safe for work. You're extracting the text from the title of a website and all, and sharing that. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I think you got to be careful too. Like people have asked, like, could you do it so that it takes a screenshot of the page and like right away it's like, oh man, could you imagine? Like, no, that would be, so I don't recommend people run crawlers that are taking screenshots of stuff in the dark web unless you're like really careful about how you're handling it, or you have some kind of filtering because you could end up actually like, violating a number of laws by preserving content like sexual abuse material. And then if you email that to people, you've actually distributed it. So could really be in a lot of trouble. So you do have to be careful with that type of stuff. And we do get the occasional email where people are like, is this legal? And we're like, we're not, we're just capturing it. We're not like distributing anything. My cat's coming back again. I don't know why. But yeah, but it is really useful and it's free. So like, I know that like dark web data can get pretty expensive. So we hope that it's useful and even a little bit.
Yeah. Sector, were you gonna say something?
No, I totally agree. I love it.
Cool.
I don't need it on a daily or weekly basis, but I do know it's there, and I know it's always sitting there ready for me to grab it if I need it. So that's really awesome.
And the archives are in Dropbox. So like if for some reason you're dealing with a case that's historical, you're like, that something happened in August 2020, you can actually go back in the archives and see if there's a reference to that. To that hidden service in the spreadsheet. So it is useful in that way too, to do kind of retroactive investigations.
It'd be neat to take all of those spreadsheets and put them into a single database and then look at different resources over time and up and down. I mean, that's essentially building almost a fresh onions at that point, right?
Yeah, totally. And Unnamed Steve actually did some really cool stuff where he was feeding it into machine learning and doing natural language processing on it, and actually had built a very good classifier that would tell you like this onion is with 95% certainty this, and it was really good. But Unnamed Steve, I don't know what Unnamed Steve's doing with unnamed things now. So,
very suspicious. All right, so your main product right now is Hunchly, right? How would what do you say Hunchly is? It's a data collector. It's what is it? Evidence capture tool?
Yeah, we call it a web preservation tool or an evidence preservation tool. There's no wrong way to call Hunchly. You can call it whatever you want.
Okay. So with Hunchly, you've just released the mobile, which Sector talked about. What is kind of on the roadmap for the next X number of months or years? I mean, what are some of the other new features that you can tempt those of us that are currently using Hunchly with? What's coming up?
Sure. So, we were going to have a report builder, but then I kind of was like, uncovered some bugs because I've spent a lot of time working with our data forwarder recently, which you might have seen in our YouTube channel. And the data forwarder,
what is the data forwarder do?
Yeah, so the data forwarder is just a way that when you capture a page in Hunchly, it will actually push a JSON message to a server of your choosing. So you point it at kind of an HTTP server. And then if you have a team of analysts, you can imagine all of that data is flowing into a central database. all the investigators still get their own copy of their evidence, and like the MHTML files don't get sent. But what it can allow you to do is, for example, I've covered in some of our previous streams where I'm browsing in Hunchly and I have a local data forwarder running just on my own machine. And anytime I browse to a YouTube video, it automatically goes out, it detects that it's a YouTube video, the Python does behind the scenes. Nothing affects Hunchly on the front side. So it downloads the YouTube video, hashes it, pulls down all its metadata, pulls down all of its closed captioning. It separates all the video frames out and then finds all the unique frames and then finds all the objects in all those unique frames.
Wow.
All behind the scenes, right? So it's got nothing to do with Hunchly, but with a little bit of Python, you can actually have this automated collection system running behind it that's doing extra stuff like downloading video or pulling other things down. So we're going to be spending a lot of time training people on how to start building tooling up around Hunchly. We like to stay hyper-focused on what Hunchly is good at, what it's supposed to be good at. But the data forwarding allows you to really expand that outwards, where we're not putting all this burden on the core product itself, but instead opening it up more. Well, it fits really well with our model, which is more open it up to the community and let people build stuff the way they need to build stuff. And every organization is different. Yesterday, I talked to a human rights organization about preserving video. 2 days before that, it was a military organization looking at anonymized browsing and other things, right? So we just try to focus on the core bits, but the data forwarding is a ton of fun, and there's a lot of really neat stuff you can do. So what was supposed to happen was a report builder was going to come out, but instead we're going to do a bit of a bug fix release. And then you're going to see the report builder coming in a few months from now. And then I will be no longer embarrassed to talk about our report builder in demos or have to give the big disclaimer where I have to say, okay, here, I'm going to show you our report builder, but it's really not great to use and look at. So I'm very sorry.
I've heard you say that before. You're like, I'm not apologizing for it, but let me apologize for this.
The only product demo you're going to see where he's like, oh man, I'm so sorry for what I'm about to show you. But it's coming, and our team has worked incredibly hard to build like the new report builder. It's awesome. I know I've been saying that forever, but it's one of those things where we just don't release stuff till it's ready. So you can keep sending me hate, and I'll take it, but it's coming soon. Other than that, slow and steady as she goes, with an eye towards collaboration more and more towards 2022, 2023.
And the collaboration is using those other already established kind of platforms to collect the data that Hunchly's sending it. Are you planning on anything like a central Hunchly database that you and your team can stand up? Or is it going to be more, hey, if you stand up a Maria database or you stand up Splunk or something like that, we'll show you these integrations? What are your thoughts?
We're not sure yet. So we've looked at kind of a few different things, and we're still kind of tossing some ideas around. But really what our large enterprise customers, our large law enforcement customers, even our medium-sized teams now that have Hunchly kind of entrenched in their organization, what they want is like actual real-time collaboration, right? They want to have the ability with some fine-grained security controls to be able to have people work on stuff together and be able to actually do live investigations with one another without using data forwarding. So like an actual product built around it. It brings a ton of challenges, security challenges. It brings like evidence challenges. It brings performance and other challenges. So we definitely hear our customers and we spend a lot of time talking about it, but it'll take some time for us to kind of survey our customers, talk to our big organizations, and then prototype, tear down, prototype, do that stuff. But we're hoping in the next couple of years we can have something that's a more team-focused product as well.
That's very cool. And one of the things I really like about Hunchly is, and I talk about this in my class, all my students use Hunchly. The thing I like about it is that it's that second investigator that's helping you out going, hey, did you know there's metadata in this image? You might want to check that out. Ooh, we got a Google Analytics code over here. If you just look on this page, it's that second set of eyes. And I can only imagine if you have 5 or 10 investigators all centrally collecting their data in a certain location, running all of these different data analysis tools on that, scraping, plotting, collecting, that's going to be really powerful.
Yeah, and even just you think of organizations where you've worked at before, right? A large organization that might have a team of 50 analysts. It can be tough to identify training gaps, right? And so even being able to model out what your team is spending its time on, how they're doing their investigations, where they're spending their time, might tell you where you need to allocate budget. Do you need to spend more time teaching your people social media-based investigations, or are you spending more and more time with marine-based data or AIS data, that type of thing? So I think that that's one of the other things, is that just by observing a team, a lead analyst or a manager has the ability to kind of understand where they can teach their team how to make them better. It's difficult to get insights like that otherwise until somebody fails at something, right? And it's like, oh, they failed at this or they screwed something up. Now we know we have to train them on this, right? So I think it's pretty interesting in that regard too.
Yeah. I actually, when I was running a team of penetration testers, one of the things that we used to do is use Hunchly, one of the earlier versions of Hunchly, and I would have my junior analysts work, or my junior pen testers go ahead and do some like web reconnaissance, and then they would export what they had in Hunchly, put it on a central server. I would import that, and I could see all the places they went to, all the places they didn't go to, and then we could collaborate about different places to attack or do other things too. So
totally,
it's really cool.
A robot just started up near me too. This is going to be the best live stream ever.
I heard the tones, but thank you for interpreting that. What kind of robot is it, Justin?
That was a Roomba.
A Roomba. Okay.
Claire, if you're watching this, we got to learn how to turn these things off. They're roaming around the house like crazy.
10 seconds and the cat will attack it.
Help me turn off robots. Yeah, I've seen those pictures where the cats jump on the Roombas and they're just like taking around the room. Does your cat do that, or?
Micah, that is exactly why we bought the Roomba, and no cat has ridden. I want to put a saddle on it or something.
Yeah.
No cat's ridden it.
No, not yet.
Floors are clean though.
Sector, do you have some more questions for Mr. Seitz?
No, absolutely not. I do have to dive into automating Hunchly. I do know there was a script to automatically scrape websites, for instance, on GitHub. But I'm really keen on seeing how easy it is to write things yourself for the backend. So that does remind me of something. Have you ever thought about maybe making it possible to create something like extensions that you can reach from within the Hunchly dashboard, so you can run personal scripts on the data that you already preserved without actually tampering with it?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we definitely have talked about that, or like a plugin style system. Right now you have this mismatch of like the Hunchly API is a binary that you can kind of wrap in any programming language. And then you have the data forwarding. Now, between the two of them, you can do a lot, but it's not exactly the cleanest method. And so there are some technical barriers kind of in the belly of the beast that we need to overcome in order to get more of a true API that's either RESTful, like over an HTTP endpoint, or even just some other method. There's just some interesting things with like threads and locking and databases and all this silly stuff that software engineers got to deal with that thankfully I don't anymore because I'm bad at it.
Somebody else writing.
Yeah, professionals.
Yeah, they're all now busy fixing the email.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, I mean, I think that's the whole thing, is that what you're also going to see is Phil is working on a course that will teach you how to go from like zero to hero building stuff with Python and Hunchly data forwarding. And then we have a much larger course coming in the fall that will be even bigger, like kind of more how to be a one-person intelligence agency with Hunchly and Google Cloud. So yeah, I mean, we are all ears. If people have ideas for extensions, plugins, whatever, we're all ears. If there's something we can do, like if it's like, hey, if you could build me like just a little shim that will load a JavaScript file or load an HTML file into the dashboard, and then I can do tests or play around with it. We'll totally do stuff like that for people. We can't guarantee it'll be quick because it can be disruptive. But we are all ears. We want people to kind of play around with it. Phil is gonna, and I can see Phil's on here right now.
I saw the Hunchly.
He's gonna hate me for this.
Phil?
What I want to do, Phil, I can already hear him going, no. I started working on a little, like a mini course almost, that it's like, here's how you can rip Hunchly right out of the Chrome store, and actually hack the extension, hack the back end, and make it do stuff that is useful, but we didn't ever intend for it to do. Right. And Phil's like, why would you ever don't do that? And I'm like, he's like, and Divya too is like, no. And I'm like, yes,
look at me, so
your displeasure. I'm like, I'm gonna break our own stuff and then teach people how to do it. They're like, no. So, but I think it's fun because this is really the whole spirit of where I came from, right? Is like, tear stuff apart, have fun with it. You never know what falls out of doing experiments, right? So you really don't know what kind of insights or new tools fall out or whatever. So I'm a big fan of just like letting people run with their imaginations. And we're like the last company in the world that's ever going to be like, oh, you're violating our EULA, right? Like, no, don't worry. Like,
so have you ever thought of like making some kind of script? I know he's like, not like this.
Not like
this
this.
Phil. Yes. So Justin, have you ever thought of like making a script or something, or a VM that is the analysis, the receiver essentially for the upstream of Hunchly? So you could just say, hey, if you want to play around with this, just download this. It's all Linux open source. Here's your dashboard at 127.0.0.1. Go to it.
I have not. The reason why, I mean, I've thought about it, but the reason why we haven't done it is we're a small team and we have to be careful not to spread ourselves too thin. And even just releasing that dark web guide, right, the PDF, like that's a product you have to support. We take support emails about it. I have to guide people through setup, and we're happy to do that, but we have to be careful not to spread ourselves too thin. I kind of feel like the Oprah bees GIF is appropriate here because that's, usually how we are.
Right.
But there's a number of people out there. Stu in the UK has got a VM coming out that I believe has Elasticsearch built into it.
Nice.
For this reason, so that you can shovel data at it. David Westcott has built a couple of VMs that have been awesome. There are others in the community that I know are hungry to build stuff. So if you're looking for a project, it's like Micah said, a VM that can accept data from Hunchly and then run a bunch of scripts, tools, and do whatever on it would be incredibly useful. We just wouldn't be in a position to help support it. But like, we are all ears and we're here to help. We're here to give people licenses. If you need one to do testing or development with or whatever, just send us an email and we'll totally help.
Thank you. And Justin, just to circle back to the beginning of the conversation, I just wanted to say thank you as the president of OSINT Curious and as a member of the OSINT community for all of the resources, the tools, the access, just all of the things that you've done over the years. Really do appreciate the effort and the time that you've put in to make the community and all the people that are working hard on OSINT tasks to have an easier time doing their hard work. So thank you very much for that and your continued support.
Thank you very much. And, definitely the thanks really goes to my team. I mean, I sit on here for a couple hours and lots of people get to see me and hear my name, but, I'm not the one day in and day out who is really spending the time and writing the code and running the tests and doing UX and UI work and helping customers. And, so definitely it's my team that is doing all of this.
Who's on your team? You want to give some shout outs?
To everyone, Claire, Maxim, Phil, Divya, Ginger, we have a ton of people that are just like part of our team. They're auxiliary to our team. They're folks that are working on other stuff. We have projects and products and things going on we can't discuss yet. But we have a lot of very exciting, big stuff coming. And everybody plays a role in that. So we try to I'm thankful for everybody, whether you've designed a brochure for us, or you've done an explainer video or whatever. I'm just very grateful for everybody who helps along the way, and I have the easiest job. So this is hopefully someday I can just get my whole team on, and they can all take the kudos.
Yeah, let's set that up.
Great.
We know a platform where you can stream, so.
Great.
Hunchly is going to move to a live streaming platform where.
Oh, could you imagine me running a live stream?
Oh, can
it's
you
one
imagine?
thing to be a guest. It's one thing to be a guest. It's another to run it. Yeah.
Can you imagine, Micah, having the whole Hunchly team for a full week of live streaming with Geoguessr? This is going to be mayhem.
With Geoguessr?
Actually, my team, we've got Canadians, India, Russia. We would be probably with the team. It'd be pretty good, actually.
Yeah. Nice.
We have people in Brazil. So
well, that's
probably others I forgot.
That's one of the things that I love about our audience. See, tomorrow is our Friday. Tomorrow's Friday. It's your Friday too, I think, right?
It's literally Friday everywhere.
Yeah. Well, okay. But tomorrow on our week of live streams, Fridays we do instead of the daily challenge, we do the country streak, where instead of having to come up with St. Petersburg on the street, we just got to come up with Russia. And last month we got over 50 countries right in a row. Sector and I were on for 4 hours. It was awesome. But my point was that we had the help of this audience, which is so diverse, from people from South America, from Central America, from Africa. And so people were like, oh, that's down the street for me. That's over here. We're like, thank you. Leveraging the diversity in this community and just the amazing people in it is something that I know Hunchly and you are all about.
You bet.
Yeah. Well, cool. Thank you so much for being on here and spending some time with us, Justin. Really appreciate it, man.
Thank you guys again for having me, and have me back as often as you like.
And we are going to take you up on that.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Bye, everybody.
Sector,
Bye-bye.
thank you for being on here too, buddy.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be here tomorrow, Sector?
It was a pleasure. And yes, I'm going to close off the week with you with another country streak. I'm gonna grab the snacks. I'm going to grab enough drinks, because last time it took us 4.5 hours or something to finish.
Yep.
I'm going to sit here till the end.
Well, we did take bio breaks, and that was a good thing, because as the pressure builds, or the pressure's on, so to speak.
And then because I made one silly joke about, I recognize the clouds, it's not Australia, or it is Australia, I forgot.
Yeah.
And then we messed up. you were tired of it too. You just clicked and went.
I was. All right. Well, that's enough about the failings of Micah Hoffman. Let's go ahead and wrap this live stream up. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Sector. And thank you to our wonderful, amazing group of audience members for making this a terrific live stream. Come back tomorrow, and we're going to do some country streak on Geoguessr and have a lot of fun. So until then, good night, everybody. Take care.
See ya.
Stay curious.
Bye-bye.